So, who exactly is the adorable e-girl that shouts helpful things in our ears while we're playing Marvel Rivals? Those of us who know our comic books can obviously tell that she has something to do with a particular planet-eating person we know, but what's her deal? Also in this video, I'll be cracking a little further into the Marvel continuity's newest version of Unobtainium, Chronovium. My name's the Riddler, wrong universe, I know, and this is Marvel Rivals Season 0, Galacta's Hunger. First of all, I'd like to tackle something specific that I've been seeing a few places. Galacta was not created by the developers of Marvel Rivals. Her first appearance is actually back in 2009 in Marvel's Assistant Size Spectacular Issue 2. She's also the daughter of Galactus, but not in the way you might assume. She started off as a parasite, almost like a tapeworm, that spontaneously manifested in Galactus because of the things that would happen to you when you would go around using power cosmic to keep yourself sustained. Eventually, Galacta grew into her own cosmic independent being that functions similarly to Galactus, but not exactly the same. See, Galacta, or Galley, as they like to call her for short, has much better control over her hunger pangs, or Galactus just doesn't care to control them, one of the two. She restricts herself to eating non-native organisms on Earth specifically. Galactus has always had a taste for Earth because it's so goddamn appetizing. It's like when you're watching Tom and Jerry and they pull out one of those big bone hams or like the giant T-bone steak and it looks so good, mostly because you can't really have it. But imagine you were immeasurably tall and cosmically powered to bring an end to sentient life. So essentially the same thing. So Galactus spends her time trying to fight off the absurdly powerful urge to simply devour Earth and be done with it. The latest thing to capture her cosmic appetite is a shiny little gem called Chronovium. Now, if you missed the first video about Doctor Doom's plan and how Chronovium is made, first off, go watch it, you heathen. But here's a quick rundown. Chronovium is an element created when realities bash together in the timeline entanglement, essentially making sparks like two blades going at it really, really hard. It can be crystal, it can be liquid, and presumably it can be gas as well. Galacta took interest in this time stream entanglement mostly because of the various realities being destroyed. Since she wields the power cosmic, aka the power of infinite bullshit, she is the one holding together the realities we traverse in the game. That's why we can hear her voice and why she cheers us on, no matter whether you're a hero or a villain. She's the person holding all of these realities from falling apart. She also claims that she would help more, but it's taking all of her focus to keep reality from disappearing. And considering some realities have disappeared, I think it has more to do with Chronovium. Galacta loves this stuff, and for good reason. I mean, she hasn't eaten anything this nourishing in her entire existence. But what exactly is Chronovium specifically? I've teased this topic for like 4 times now, and I've talked about how it's a runoff, a byproduct of the time stream entanglement. But what does it do, and why is it so powerful, and why is it everywhere? Well, Chronovium is a crystallized element that's generated by the time stream entanglement and realities clashing together. Galacta describes them as bite sized chunks of pure chronal energy, and when Galacta says they're bite sized, I think you should keep in mind that while she can be as big as her father, she usually appears to be the size of a teenage Earth girl, so the size can probably vary. Its state of matter can also vary. In the story Family Affairs, Ratatasker tells us that a chronal surge caused by the time entanglement causes the world tree, Yggdrasil, to grow wildly out of control. It grew so big, in fact, that it merged with the entire realm of Asgard. And just to take a second to give you the idea of the scope of that, the realm of Midgard, where Earth is not just Earth. It is also the space around Earth and all the planets in the Milky Way. Like it's all of our plane, all of our realm. So the tree got so big that it merged with the entire realm, which is why the maps that we play on are not called Asgard, they're called Yggdrasil. It's then revealed to us that even the sap of Yggdrasil is now vibrating with temporal energy, which Loki is trying to take advantage of, but we'll cover what he's getting into in another video. Yggdrasil in the Marvel Universe is actually an energy field that is supporting and connecting the 10 realms of existence. While it's represented as a tree, it's almost more like gravity in the sense that it permeates the air of every realm, and it's a binding force that holds all of the realms together. And now Chronovium permeates that. So it can't just be a crystal, it has to also be an energy wave of some kind because Yggdrasil, while it looks like a tree and we think of it as a tree, it's not actually a tree in the Marvel Universe. It's so potent and unique that it has bled into a totally different type of energy field and enlarged and expanded it. So it's safe to say that Chronovium is pretty potent stuff. I mean, hell, even the Master Weaver over on 2099 is trying to harness Chronovium to strengthen the web of life and destiny. Like, this stuff is unrealistically powerful, even in the context of the Marvel Universe. The Master Weaver and Galacta are far from the only people to notice this and to try and harness it. The princess of the intergalactic empire of Wakanda, Shuri, has also found and gotten her hands on some of this chronovium. If you know anything about Wakanda, you know about vibranium. It's an incredible metal that Wakandans know the ins and outs of to a T, especially the chief of science, Princess Shuri. So, when vibranium was modified by this new crystalline element, Shuri began to research it, and her findings showed that chronovium seems to form specifically in places of power or importance, even if what makes the place powerful or important hasn't happened yet. Because remember, we're dealing with timey-wimey bullshit, so we don't know where this stuff's going to pop up at. In Wakanda, chronovium not only forms within vibranium, but also the other way around. Chronovium crystals are forming with the properties of vibranium in places where vibranium would be. So not only does Chronovium have this massive power of its own, but it can also take the properties and other powerful elements of seemingly any other element it comes into contact with, be that energy, metal, ingots, I mean, who knows what, right? That's basically all that we've found out about Chronovium as of right now, but it very clearly is going to be one of the central themes of this game as the story moves forward. I would not be surprised if we get certain renditions of characters that we wouldn't otherwise get because they have access to Chronovium. The possibilities are pretty open ended, and I think it's pretty cool that we're getting our own game specific sort of vibranium or unobtainium, adamantium, like whatever you want to call it, right? I could see this leading to pretty interesting skins. I could see this leading to pretty interesting maps, honestly. Like, imagine a world where the Eternals are, because the Eternals, they can build things super fast with their time dilation stuff. What if they have a whole city that's built out of chronovium because they've had access to it for so many years, you know what I mean? And if chronovium appears in certain places, it could warp those places accordingly. Like, what happens if chronovium spawns on the living island of Krakoa? What does that look like? What does that change? Does it change anything? If it doesn't, why doesn't it? But that definitely seems to be one of the major plot things that Marvel Rivals has taken care to sort of embed into the story very early on. And they've made sure that we are definitely only scratching the surface. But that's basically all I had for you on this video. Hopefully you understand Chronovium. And if you don't, leave me a comment down below and we can chop it up. I'm always in the comments. I'm always talking to folks. So let me know if you have any questions about Chronovium or how it relates to the Marvel Universe. I'm not a writer on the game, but I can give you my best guess as someone who's read quite a few Marvel comic books. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications for my next video, where I'm going to be talking about Loki, a pretty central figure in Season 0, given that he has several of the maps that we play on, and what exactly him and Hel did to really piss Thor off, and perhaps give him a shiny new hammer. Thank you so much for watching once again. I am the Riddler, and until the next time I see you, be good people. Bye.